Some lessons in life aren't taught in classrooms. They aren't found in textbooks, multiple-choice tests, or curriculum outlines. They're passed quietly, over tea in a chipped mug, on porches, in garden beds, and whispered during bedtime stories. They come from people with soft hands, slower voices, and decades of hard-earned wisdom. They come from grandparents. In a world obsessed with speed, performance, and certificates, we often forget that the deepest life skills can't be graded. No school will ever teach you how to sit beside someone who's grieving without trying to fix them. No test prepares you to lose someone you love. And no curriculum explains how to forgive someone who never said they were sorry. But somehow, grandparents know. Maybe it's because they've seen enough seasons change to know that pain softens, that life isn't a race, that what you build with your heart matters more than what you build with your hands. And yet so many of us grow up not realizing the value of those quiet teachings until it's almost too late. In this video, we're going to explore 6 powerful life lessons that grandparents pass down. Lessons schools rarely mention, but that shape us in ways we don't even realize until we're older. So whether your grandparents are still with you or just a memory now, this is a chance to honor their wisdom and reflect on what they gave us that no classroom ever could. Lesson 1. The power of patience. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's a survival skill. And no one models it better than grandparents. Think about it. They grew up in a time when things took time. Letters took days to arrive. Bread took hours to rise. Gardens didn't bloom overnight. And love, real love, was something built slowly, through seasons of sacrifice and forgiveness. Compare that to today's world. We tap, swipe, refresh. We get frustrated when a video buffers for 3 seconds, or when someone doesn't reply instantly. Schools teach deadlines, test-taking speed, and academic acceleration, but they rarely teach how to wait, how to breathe through uncertainty, how to trust that something good is still coming, even if it's taking longer than expected. That's where grandparents come in. A grandfather quietly watching the same sunrise every morning with his coffee. A grandmother knitting row after row of a sweater that won't be finished for weeks. They remind us, without saying a word, that not everything worthwhile happens fast. They show us that slowness isn't failure, it's faith. And that patience isn't about passively waiting. It's about actively trusting. I remember my own grandmother baking bread. She never rushed it. She'd hum to herself, set the dough in a warm corner, and let it rise. "Don't touch it too soon," she'd say. "It won't be ready." It's taken me years to realize she wasn't just talking about bread. She was talking about life. Patience is the space where healing happens, where relationships deepen, where wisdom grows. And while no school lesson ever graded me on that skill, my grandparents taught it to me just by living. Lesson 2. How to love without conditions. Unconditional love is something most of us don't recognize until we've felt it. Softly, quietly, from someone who never expected anything in return. That someone is often a grandparent. In school, love tends to be tied to performance. You do well, you're praised. You misbehave, you're corrected. Even friendships can feel transactional. But with grandparents, love just is. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to impress anyone. You can simply exist and still be loved completely. It's in the way a grandparent saves your crayon drawing like it's fine art, or the way they cook your favorite meal just because you're visiting. It's how they light up when you walk into the room, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. No school teaches that kind of love. They don't hand out grades for kindness without expectation or affection without condition. Yet this kind of love is foundational. It becomes the quiet voice in your head later in life that says, "You are enough," even when the world doesn't say so. My grandfather never once told me I had to succeed to make him proud. He was proud just because I was his. That kind of love stays with you. It anchors you. And if you've ever been lucky enough to receive it, You carry it forever. Unconditional love isn't loud. It doesn't post about itself. It folds blankets. It waits up for your call. It forgives quickly and hugs tightly. And even long after grandparents are gone, their love often becomes the safest part of who we are. That's not something you learn in a classroom. That's something you feel and then pass on. Lesson 3. Resourcefulness and frugality. If you've ever watched a grandparent fix something with a rubber band, a paperclip, or a bent spoon, you've witnessed the quiet genius of making do. Grandparents grew up in a world where waste was not an option. They mended socks, reused jars, saved buttons, and turned leftovers into full meals. Not because it was trendy, but because it was necessary. Schools today teach problem solving, sure, but usually with tools, budgets, and formulas. Grandparents teach resourcefulness, the art of doing more with less, of finding value in what's already there, of never throwing something out just because it's old or imperfect. That lesson goes far beyond household repairs. It teaches you to be resilient, to adapt, to trust your creativity over convenience, to see potential in what others overlook. My grandmother kept a drawer full of mismatched fabric scraps. When I asked what she was saving them for, she smiled and said, "Whatever needs patching next." That simple line has stayed with me, about clothes, yes, but also about people, about relationships, about life. Frugality isn't about deprivation. It's about respect, for time, for effort, for things and people. It's knowing that what you have is enough if you treat it well. And in a world of fast fashion, instant upgrades, and constant consumption, that mindset is revolutionary. It teaches you gratitude, patience, sustainability. Most schools won't give you a grade for fixing a broken zipper, but grandparents, they'll teach you that skill with pride, because it's not just about saving money. It's about building a mindset that can survive anything. And in uncertain times, that might be the most valuable lesson of all. Lesson 4. The sacredness of silence and listening. We live in a world filled with noise, notifications, opinions, endless talking. But if you've ever sat beside a grandparent on a quiet afternoon, you know there's a different kind of wisdom, one that lives in silence. Grandparents have mastered the art of being present without filling the space. They don't always jump to respond. They don't need to dominate the room. They listen. And when they finally speak, their words carry weight. In school, we're taught how to answer questions, give presentations, explain ourselves. But very few lessons teach us how to truly listen, to hear what someone isn't saying, to sit with a pause, to hold space for someone else's pain or joy without rushing to fix it. I remember sitting with my grandfather after my first heartbreak. He didn't say much, just handed me tea, looked me in the eye, and let the silence hold us both. That moment taught me more about compassion than any advice ever could. Listening is love in stillness, and grandparents show us that. They teach us to pay attention to the shift in someone's voice, the tension in their hands, the emotion behind the words. They know that not every answer needs to be immediate, and not every silence is empty. In their presence, you learn that conversation isn't just about speaking, it's about connection. And sometimes the most healing thing you can offer someone isn't advice, it's your quiet presence. That kind of emotional maturity is rare, and it can't be taught on a whiteboard. But it's something grandparents model with grace. In a noisy world, they remind us, the soul speaks in silence, and the heart hears it best when we finally stop talking. Lesson 5. Gratitude in simplicity. If there's one thing grandparents know well, it's how to find joy in the smallest moments. Not in luxury, not in excess, but in simplicity, a warm meal, a quiet morning, a letter from someone far away. Gratitude for them isn't something you have to be reminded of. It's woven into daily life. Schools often teach ambition, growth, achievement. But they rarely teach you how to stop and appreciate what already is. Grandparents do. They show us how to notice the light coming through the kitchen window, how to savor a homemade soup, how to be thankful for enough, even when the world keeps telling us we need more. I once watched my grandmother fold laundry, humming softly, smiling as she paired socks. It wasn't a chore to her. It was care. It was proof that her family was safe, warm, and home. That kind of gratitude changes your posture toward life. It softens urgency. It rewires the way you define success. Because real contentment isn't taught in classrooms. It's modeled by people who know what it means to go without, and who never forgot how precious the basics truly are. In a world driven by comparison, grandparents remind us that joy isn't in having everything, it's in not needing everything to be happy. They teach us to be grateful not just for what we have, but for who we share it with. And as we get older, we begin to understand that simplicity is not a lack. It's a kind of quiet wealth, one that doesn't show off, but sustains. So maybe the next time you feel overwhelmed, the answer isn't to chase more. It's to look around, breathe in the moment, and thank the people who taught you how. Lesson 6. Legacy over achievement. In school, everything is measured. Grades, scores, trophies, deadlines. Achievement is the goal. But grandparents teach something different. Legacy. Legacy isn't about how much you accomplish, it's about what you leave behind, how you make people feel, what you pass on, the values you live by, and whether those values live on in others. Your grandparents probably never posted a resume online or bragged about their metrics, but they knew how to raise children, how to show up when it mattered, how to treat a neighbor, care for a friend, or stay faithful through hard seasons. That's legacy. And it's the one thing that outlasts us all. You might not remember the awards you won in school, but you'll always remember the way your grandfather held your hand at the funeral, or how your grandmother made every birthday feel like a sacred celebration, even if all she had was a cupcake and a candle. They teach us that a life well lived isn't one that looks impressive from the outside, it's one that feels meaningful from the inside. Schools teach how to prepare for careers. Grandparents teach how to prepare for death, not out of fear, but with dignity, with peace, with the knowledge that you poured love into people, not just effort into projects. Legacy is what echoes after you're gone. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it in the way you comfort your children, the recipes you pass on, the patience you learned, and the stories you tell. That's not a lesson found in textbooks. It's found in the quiet, steady lives of those who knew that what matters most isn't what you build, but who you become while building it. Grandparents are our quiet teachers. They don't stand at chalkboards or hand out diplomas. They teach by doing, by being, by loving, consistently, gently, without needing recognition. But here's the truth we don't talk about enough. We're losing them. With each passing generation, fewer people grow up surrounded by that kind of steady, lived wisdom. And fewer still take the time to truly listen while those voices are still around. The world moves fast, schools evolve, technology races ahead, but some of the most valuable life lessons still sit silently at the kitchen table, waiting to be asked. This video isn't just about honoring what grandparents taught us, it's about reminding ourselves not to let that wisdom fade, because one day, we'll be the ones passing it on. So ask the stories while you still can. Hold their hands a little longer. Learn how they fold towels, why they always save string, what they regret, and what they're proud of. It's not small talk. It's a gift. And if your grandparents are already gone, think about what they left in you. A habit, a phrase, a kind of love. That's still teaching. That's legacy. If you felt something during this video, pass it on. Like this video to help others see it. Share in the comments. What's one lesson a grandparent taught you? And don't forget to subscribe for more reflections on life, aging, and the wisdom that's often hidden in plain sight. Because some of the most important teachers in our lives never step foot in a classroom, but their lessons live in us forever.